in my ass.
I just banged your wife?
Name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total non-stop impact.
My name's John Capital letter E, Big Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Non-Stop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Non-Stop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
We are the Rascalz, and you are listening to Total
Non-Stop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Non-Stop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah.
What's up, Impact Wrestling? Let's make some noise!
Sitting here, you guys got a 15-minute intro of putting yourselves over while I'm sitting here and watching J-Bone and Kaylon and your 50. I never saw a 15-minute intro of three guys putting themselves over.
This is the good stuff.
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Non-Stop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trent, along with my co-hosts, J-Bone, Mark, Alicia, and Bill, and this is the Impact Plus Weekly for August, I think, 19th to the 30th is what the range J-Bone has on there. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Happy Sunday. How y'all doing today?
Sunday, fun day.
Sunday. Now, Jay, I'm gonna start us off. I'm starting off hot. You weren't going to join us today. You were too good for us today. What's going on with you?
I just changed my mind. Well, I was doing a twofer tonight, so I didn't know what kind of energy I was going to have by the end of the one. So it was more just prepping just in case.
Gotcha. Cool. What's going on, man? So
The
Bill,
Impact
Alicia,
brought him back in.
yes, Bill, were you at another show this weekend? I need to know. Bill, Alicia
I was.
too. You were no shows for Alicia. Bill was at a show. Tell us about your show this weekend.
I was at Synergy Pro Wrestling in New Jersey yesterday. They did a Fight TV show. Not really any Impact connections. It was mainly kind of their main roster. They did have some people that have been, I believe, on some maybe Twitch type shows for Impact, like when they did some partner promotions in the past, like PPW back in Hazleton. There was one or two people from there, so some loose connections, but nothing real solid there. But but a good show. Outdoors. There was some pending thunderstorms, so there was some raindrops for a match and a half. Never too heavy, but they took almost like an intermission break for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it was gone. So the rest went pretty smoothly. So good show.
Nice. Alicia, what's up with you? What did you get into this weekend? Anything fun? Anything wrestling related, I guess?
Nothing wrestling related, just an overextensive amount of Halloween shopping.
That's right. There was a picture Alicia posted. She started Halloween shopping.
It's never too early.
Well, they open up. They have that Spirit Halloween store by you guys too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's everywhere.
Yep.
Like an infection.
I fucking love that store. I almost bought there was like this sorceress holding a crystal ball thing, and like if you walk by it, like the ball would light up and it would like fog, and she'd be like, "Oh, let me tell you the fortune," or some shit.
Nice.
I'm like, dude, I need to get this, but I couldn't at the time. I'm gonna go back and do a whole. I'm like, because I'm looking to buy a house. I think I made this public. I'm trying to move, and I'm like, I should save money for a house, but then like deck out my house if I get a house, if I get that in time for Halloween. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, Mark, you're back here today. What's going on, man?
I am. I got a new power washer, and I power washed my patio all day today.
This is what I have to look forward to if I buy a house. This is my weekend.
Right.
Like
That's right.
ownership, Trent.
That's it. That was my whole weekend in quarantine. You know, we're still pretty locked down just because it's so bad here. So buying power washers and stuff like that, home projects, planting gardens.
And I thought Mark would tell me he went to. There was a pretty decent looking indie show in Texas this week.
Man, you aren't kidding. There were a lot of Impact.
A lot of Impact guys. EC3.
Oh, that was in Texas? I saw that.
Yeah.
Was in Texas.
It was in North Texas. That was like 5 hours from me, 4.5 hours from me, something like that. Pretty far. Yeah.
Well, not was as nuts as you, Bill, to do that. Do that drive.
Yeah.
I would have been there.
Yeah, there was nothing for Bill. It was actually near where we all met. It was just north of Dallas and like North Richland Hills or somewhere like that. Or not North Richland. I don't even remember.
I think it was EC3's first indie show since coming back.
Definitely,
so. Yeah.
Nice.
And now, like, Taya's saying she's going to take indie dates. Deanna's teasing indie dates. So,
I mean, they're trying to fill those calendars. I mean, they kind of know where their Impact dates fall. So they're kind of like, well, we can just fill in these gaps. Like, why the hell not? Make some extra cash.
As long as they can stay healthy, why not? You know, and that's of course the risk you take. But you know, I'm sure people miss it.
Yeah. So, any news? Let's start off with some of that. Just some brief. We'll kind of cover it in more detail on Tuesday. But Bullet Bob Armstrong did pass away this weekend. He was a big part of early TNA, which we've been doing on Throwback.
Yeah.
As we see, he is a very important part of those first like 20 shows, almost, right, guys? Like it's. I mean, I gotta say, I know he was kind of patchy in a few of them, right, Jay? But like, he definitely. I mean, he was a huge part of that early TNA era. So he has a place in Impact history.
Yeah, like a GM character, kind of helping run the show. You know, they did that with a lot of older NWA figures starting out that brand, making them feel like they were like authority figures. And you know, and I know he did some stuff later with his at least one, if not two of his kids later on in TNA down the line. With BG James. Was Scott with that too, or was he gone by then?
Scott Armstrong was there during all that. He was they kind of had that whole three-way thing going on where like Scott was telling, you know, BG Road Dogg, like, what are you doing to Dad? You're driving him nuts and shit like that. So the Armstrongs had a presence in Impact for sure. They were a part of it early days. So definitely rest in peace, Bullet Bob Armstrong, man. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Dude was 80 years old, and there's photos of him up until like the last like couple days, like still fucking lifting weights.
Yeah,
like
working out,
benching and shit. Yeah. Like it's insane. Like that's that old man strength they talk about, man.
Hitting his old home gym
like that.
That's right.
Like the old man character.
But good stuff, man. Elijah Washington calling me out right here about the hair. Short hair, Kurt Gold. I did cut it. It's like a fucking bob. You can't see this. I cut 4 inches.
I didn't even notice.
It's only a bob right now.
I thought you looked good.
Thank you. It's much lighter. The only person here who can relate to me is Alicia on this, but you know, you chop 4 inches off, and you feel it's very liberating. It's like taking your pants off and you come home from a hot day. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely.
But chopped 4 inches off of it. So it's
I waxed.
Jay, the day I come to you for anything hair related. That's good, man. That's a good weekend for everybody. So yeah, we're gonna talk Xplosion in a second. Was there any other news? Anything else pop this weekend?
There was some news.
Good.
Well, there was a fake wrestling news. There was a publication that produced rankings of the top 500 wrestlers.
Oh, let's talk about this.
I was ready to do a whole show on it, but the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500, which used to matter when we were growing up, but turned into kind of a rag over the years.
Man, I used to love that issue growing up.
Yeah, everybody did growing up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but kind of when they stopped recognizing the world title on, the lack of TNA impact has been pretty evident, and we saw this again in this year because we know they're supposedly they're going to get. They're a little tighter with Impact now. We'll see what happens next year if that shows anything. But It did not show much in this year's rankings, I'll say.
Yeah.
Taking anyone that was in Impact or is in Impact now, the highest ranked was Cage, it was all his Impact run, and now is 51. Then Sammy, 57 on the current roster.
Yeah.
On the current roster, Sammy, followed by Willie Mack at 68. Then we had Kylie Ray, who was the first female ranked at 78.
Any promotion, right?
Yeah, pretty much the way they did this is they're saying they did it based a lot on record. So if you didn't really do indie dates and to be a female ranked in this, you had to go intergender. So any ones that just went all female, they're not on this list. There's supposedly going to be a second list for that, a top 100, I believe. So like Taya did maybe, I don't know if she had any intergender this year, but she would be on that other list. So she was the top rated female. So kudos to Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
Tessa was 83. That shows you though right there.
Wait, who?
Yeah,
sorry,
I know
go
who, but still, she should have been higher than 83.
Yeah. What a
come on,
bias, man.
if I give you some of the names that are near her, you'll just laugh. Let's see.
That's so ridiculous to hear though. Like, this is a company that provingly, by standards of fans and even dirt sheets who are always against them, have come around and have admitted they've probably had the most best and consistent year out of any product, and PWI just is still going to stay with their head up their ass.
And they say things like that makes you think they might be changing, but then again they don't. Because it's okay, all right, maybe they weren't as active on the indies as some of these other performers that were, but then Brock Lesnar is still going to be a top guy who wrestles 3 times a year. It's and obviously the AEW influence pretty much knocked everybody down about 25 to 30 spots because you had to make room for all of them for whatever reason. Because most of them lose every week to the same 5 guys.
What's funny is their rating period was I think it said June 30th to June 30th.
It's always been weird though. That is not something that's changed. It's never been on a yearly. It's always been on a mid-year to mid-year basis, even way back in the day.
Which makes it even funnier because then they're ranking AEW based on 8 months of television. So tell me there's no fucking bias when they're ranking a company on 8 months of TV. Okay, tell me there's not a bias with that.
Well, they would say, I guess, the performers, but most of them really weren't doing much right before that. So
yeah, just
weird, just kind of following up Ace Austin 94, and if you read kind of the descriptions, they all kind of give a little dig on all the Impact guys, and the last sentence will be
really?
when they give them the spotlight, they kind of give little digs. Cross was 96. That was all Impact, so I'll put that out there. I'm sure he'll be top 30 next year, maybe top 20.
Yeah, next year's top 20. Out with an injury for most of the year now, but it'd still be highest ranked dude.
That could be a long injury too.
I think
it's 129. Eddie Edwards at 132. That's a joke.
132, yeah.
Come on, man.
Eddie Edwards 132. I'm supposed to take this seriously.
Well, that's just disrespect for the belt itself too.
And Eddie Edwards, he didn't have the belt yet.
But it's disrespect for the belt. It's disrespect for Eddie, who's put his heart and soul into this company and put it on his back. I guess that's true. He didn't have the belt at the time.
No, he didn't have it yet. So we'll see what next year because he is in their top 10 since he's won the belt. But we'll see. And that's the thing. How are they going to deal with this pandemic next year? Because a lot of companies haven't run. So all these indie guys, he got – but like an EC3 who was barely on television, he's not even ranked. He's off the list. Yeah. So he's not even a ranked guy. Same with is EY even on the list? I don't even think EY was on the list.
I saw a funny thing though.
He was only on Main Event last year, so they learned.
Yeah, Trey 171.
I saw a funny thing.
Ethan, the tag champs for the whole year. 186, Ethan Page. 195, Josh Alexander.
I saw that.
What a sham.
Total shame. It's such a joke.
Dude, Taya better be number 1.
Who writes it?
Just a bunch of dorks. I did see someone. someone tagged Bill Apter, who was like the guy back in the day who ran this, right? And they're like, I demand Bill Apter review this, and he's like, he responded, and he's like, I haven't worked there for 20 years, and from the looks of it, it's like he's like things have sure changed a lot from like ranking criteria sure has changed a lot since I left. And so he's basically the guy who ran that magazine is literally telling you like this is complete shit show. But I tweeted out something when I saw their criteria list of like the things that make up their like ranking. One of them literally was win-loss record.
Yeah.
And I said, if this is part of your fucking ranking, this whole list is a joke to begin with. Like that's it. You're gonna do win-loss record.
And why would they all of a sudden point that out? What promotion is talking about win-loss record?
Exactly, dude. It's so fucking stupid. Like, none of this is real. What do you
want?
win?
That's their reasoning for putting a certain guy they put at number 1.
Oh my, yeah. Sorry, Mark.
Fuck.
But shit, man. I just what an absolute.
We could do a whole show on.
I'm not opposed to it, honestly. I'm not.
I'd be down. I'd be down to shoot the shit around on an After Dark or something.
Who ranked number 1? Does anybody know?
Former Impact star John Moxley.
His year.
He's everybody's sweetheart.
Well, his year in New Japan was amazing, and then his year.
Well, he's.
I have no idea.
The dude's talented.
Well, if you hit the New Japan AEW mark, you're already top 5.
Yeah.
Mox is good. I like him a lot.
Tony Khan would be top 5 showing up.
Tony Khan's ranked.
Tony Khan.
He took a bump, right? That puts him in the running. He can be ranked.
Interesting. All right, so yeah, maybe we can do it. How else is doing an After Dark, man? Let's do that. I'm not opposed to doing something like that. Maybe
that's all you guys.
Not tonight because I have a lot of stuff.
Lisa's like, that's about the time where I fucking go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm out.
So if you want to see the real shoot, Tuesday in the Wednesday morning is going to be where you have to check in.
Wait, Alicia, one day we have to get you like where you have the day off the next day, like you have nothing planned, and you get fucking hammered watching Impact. You get on the main show like fucking shooting, and then After Dark, it's like ultimate shoot fest for an hour where you're just like, all this shit I've been wanting to say that I kind of behaved myself on the main show. Like we're gonna fucking and tagging everybody, just live tagging them too while After Dark. So I'm gonna like quote tweet and tag it because it's on Twitter.
You know what we should do? We should do a Friday or Saturday night special on it where it's just kind of whatever. Show up, shoot the shit, drink what you drink, and crap on PWI.
Right. No, I assure you, I've had no truly controversial thoughts anytime recently. So I might be kind of boring.
It changes. Made some anger, Alicia, about something.
Yes, you get into print media. That's when I get.
Who knows? Every week's a different.
It's true.
Different situation.
But every Halloween's coming up, so Alicia might be in a really good mood for the next couple months. So
yeah,
same.
Euphoric.
Same.
See, I don't know though. With Halloween being kind of like, what is it this year? I don't know. I think I'm gonna.
Oh, it is what you make it.
All right.
Yeah, she's right. It's really literally what you make it. Like how well you deck out your own house, and just that's it. It's like there's no trick or treat.
Like I don't know about around you guys, but around my part of Jersey, like around a lot of the seasonal haunted houses, still plan on going ahead with things. I'm sure it'll be social distancing appropriate, but should be interesting to see how that plays out. So Halloween's not entirely dead. I just don't think trick or treating and stuff like that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's still 2 more months of maybe time to calm shit down, and it's only about 7 days before the election, which means that, like I said, if the election goes a certain way, the coronavirus disappears the next day, right? So like, hey, we should be fine by Halloween. We should be fine by Halloween.
There's still hope.
I might do a wrestling show on Halloween.
Is somebody running on Halloween?
I believe H2O is running on Halloween.
Oh, that should be cool. There's a couple of cool Halloween shows going on. ICW is doing one around the 16th or the 17th.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one exactly. Yeah. It's going to be dope.
The 17th, I think. That's their last show of the year, yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm wearing a costume.
I'm hoping AAW's back. By the way, we have some potential dates in mind. September 17th being the first one to kick off. It's like this TV taping thing we're talking about. So I'm hoping it works out. We're gonna hopefully know soon. I'm not really sure yet where it stands, but it's all Chicago's still like real edgy about shit. So we'll see what happens. But let's jump into it. Jay, if you're not too distracted by something, what are you looking at over there? Cats.
I'm just always looking at the chat, just
chat. Sunday night chat's always booming.
Yeah, feel free if you are paying more attention to the chat. If you want to just display the comments, I'll let you do comments, flip through them. But let's talk Xplosion, guys. This was Xplosion. This was right off the bat, new commentary.
Oh yeah.
We got Matt Stryker and Don Callis. So let me go around the room just right off the bat. Thoughts on these two doing commentary, their vibe. Marq, you're already excited. Go ahead. Talk.
Absolute God, I've been begging to get some more commentary in the mix. Stryker was fantastic. Callis is always fantastic. I think this is the core main team we're looking for right here. I think it's a done deal. These guys were so good. Like, I love both of these guys together so much.
Yeah, they did a good job. Alicia, what do you think? Stryker did Lucha Underground, right? That's where he was doing commentary primarily.
And then,
and then he did the what do you think?
Yeah,
Alicia?
no complaints. I mean, I thought it was fine.
It was cool.
It's interesting to see him pop up, considering some of his other television choices.
Yeah, that's true. So okay, wait. Tell me about this again. He's on a reality show, you said, right?
I've never watched it, but I just so happened to catch the promotion or whatever for it on the commercials.
It's so weird.
He's in this thing where it's like a dating reality show, but the end game is to like have a baby.
What?
And it's called labor. Yeah, it's like the labor of love. So I don't know how that works out. I don't know what the final rose ceremony is going to be like, but should be interesting television. Check it out, guys.
I actually watched part of an episode last night. Shit. Yes, I know we're straying off track here for a minute.
So it is real.
It's real.
Wait, what channel is it on?
Real. The competition for this particular episode, you guys are you sitting down? For those listening audibly, are you sitting down? Because you're going to want to sit down for this.
Holy shit.
The competition, are you ready? Drum roll, please.
I'll do it here.
Sperm count.
Wait, what?
Sperm count was the competition. Who has the highest sperm count?
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
The numbers that matter, Jay. The numbers that matter.
Okay, I might have to watch this.
High levels of
that's it. I'm hooked.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Let's just say Matt Stryker did not place.
Oh, he didn't place.
Concerning.
You saying the boys aren't?
He was just kind of like in the back row, like.
You know, you wear those tight tights in your wrestling circulation. Wait, what channel is this shit on? What's I need to know?
I don't know.
Oh God, I'd have to look.
Just check. Is that like Lifetime or something? Maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah, something like that. It's one of those reality-based ones. Yeah.
What a fucking weird show. But I mean, commentary, Bill, he was okay with Don.
Yes, because we were. I think everybody was a fan of Josh and Matt at the Lucha Underground versus Impact or Mania.
I did like that.
And Don's my favorite color guy there is. So my perfect situation, I'm hoping this is almost maybe a test. We get a 3-man booth. Josh, Matt, and Don.
Interesting. Okay.
Jay says no on the 3-man.
No, I think he's saying no review of labor.
I am not labor of love on Smash's podcast.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Maybe after dark.
Wait.
I'm a chick and I don't even want to watch that.
Same here. Wait.
And I'm the intended demographic.
Sounds like Patreon content.
That's Patreon content. You guys want a review of that? I'll fucking do it on Patreon. You guys got to pay for that. You got to pay me to sit through that shit.
Well, Jay, just tell me, was the concept is they're just there for the procreation? Like no relationships allowed? Like that's as long as no relationship can be involved, this concept is starting to
weird.
be interesting. Because if they wind up being like The Bachelor and they get married, then what it didn't really mean anything. These guys are just there. They're just donors.
They're just there. They're just donors. My God.
What's wrong with
Where's
that?
Kyle with the bites?
Where do we sign? Yeah, I mean, we can do the bites. Usually we leave bites off the Sunday night show.
Well, you've got to do a couple. There are a couple mandatory.
I guess here's a couple mandatory for that one. Yeah.
It's been a bangorama.
That's perfect. Perfect. I mean, then
Extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin.
I mean, at least, but
and then there's the line for the losers who still want to jump in the mix.
You guys swing?
but to top it all off, everybody, this whole thing sounds
Man, this is horrible.
That's it. At the end of it, that's terrible. So
hold on. One more comment on Stryker before we move on. His play-by-play is great. There was a point in that match where Mims like missed it looked like it was Zach was coming off the ropes and maybe it was going to be like a belly to back or something like that. And it kind of got screwed up. And Stryker on the fly called it a botched inverted atomic drop and floated over into something else. And it was a really good pickup on commentary that nothing against Josh, but I don't think Josh would have handled it the same way. I really like Stryker. As Bill said, Don's one of the best color guys. You know, I don't have a preference on 2 or 3 man booth, but these two guys should be together somewhere, whether it's they keep them here on Xplosion, they move them to the main show. But last comments on Stryker from me.
I dug it. Jay, I'm going to get yours, and I'm going to just give mine real quick after that.
Matt Stryker, I loved him on Lucha Underground. He and Vampiro were highlights on that show. Vampiro was a decent color guy. He was kind of all over the place, depending on if he was just commenting on a match or playing a storyline role of something Vampiro was going through. But Matt Stryker was great. Play-by-play, gave you little history nuggets during the match on people. Man, I mean, he was just like the complete guy. And look, I understand some people don't like him. He may not be your cup of tea. But as far as offering what's needed, as far as a play-by-play guy, he's got it. He's a complete, because he'll throw in stuff that other play-by-play guys will just completely breeze over. Trent, one of your biggest things that I've heard over the last, year podcasting with you is it's so important to call certain moves, especially finishers, or if there's a new finisher, to give it a name. Yeah. And sometimes people don't call it. They'll just react to it and then count the 1, 2, 3 along with the ref.
Yep.
So no, you got to call those moves. And Stryker is that guy who will call the moves.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. My take on for the first time in a long time, Xplosion felt very important because there was 2 people on it. And I was like, oh, it's cool. There's 2 people having a conversation about this match. On top of which, Zach Wentz versus Mims was like 12 fucking minutes long.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like,
me too.
This is awesome. Yeah. Like, they got all their shit in and they told a story. I'm like, man, when was the last time Xplosion matches were just a squash?
Yeah.
And I like that Stryker gave you a lot of they talked about, I mean, Don too, a lot of background of Zach's like MMA and like his technical style. Don even pointed out that
I have seen that penis.
No, not that, Jay. He's pointed out that
probably.
I mean, locker rooms are locker rooms, guys. But he, no, I mean, like they told a story. Like the commentators told a story, and the 2 guys, the ring told. I'm like, dude, this felt important to me tonight, and I was like, I dug it. So, Xplosion needs 2 matches like this a week. Like seriously, cut out the fucking recap or flashback. What do you think, Mark?
And you can keep it with one. I love the angle you're talking about with Mims. Like he's a young guy. Don talked about like, trying to get on the roster. Stryker mentioned he probably earned a return visit. He'd like to see him back. These guys really wove it together. I agree with you. This episode of Xplosion felt like Impact for the first time in a long time. And not just the commentary, the match length. I don't know about Willie's sit down. for me, it didn't do much. But we're starting to see the shape of this show that's going to come, I think, over the next, hopefully, 2 months to Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I think so. Now, Bill, you guys did the live watch along, right, on Wednesday?
Yes.
What was the reaction from people? I know we don't get, there's not a huge group in that one, but was there a general reaction from people in that one? Like, what was the talk about?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty positive. It seemed like everybody liked the commentary. I think you're right. It gave that it gave it a big match feel. Like Stryker was kind of doing what we always talk about with TNA, where he was really putting the match over, which Josh kind of treats it like it's an Xplosion match that we've come to expect.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of what it is. Like he made it be like, oh, this Mims guy, like he's got a shot here. He's trying out. It's like, and Don, we haven't heard Don in so long. He just made it feel important by being there. Like not a knock on Madison, very commendable job.
Yeah.
But I need my Don Callis. I need the golden announcer back.
Yeah, I do like him in this capacity. But I gotta say, I think Alicia, we talked this too. Like on one of the main shows, like Madison is an awesome color commentator, by the way. Like she would talk about someone who literally transitioned overnight into a new role. Like how awesome.
She really stepped up to the plate on that one.
But what did she say? She's retiring now in September. Did she say that? Is that she?
Oh, I don't know.
For Warriors, she's doing her last indie date.
So the Warrior show in Chicago is her last indie date. Okay.
Wow.
So is she done like wrestling at Impact too? Or like she full time commentary?
That she said indie. I don't know. I take it that she still might do some matches here and there for Impact, but I'm not. I don't know. She didn't really come clear other than saying indie date. So
well,
you're
she
saying
did.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say in that later tweet she did, Bill. She said she would still wrestle Impact matches, but it felt like a good time to call it for the Indies.
I mean, she's in multiple roles right now, so
that's true though. Think about it. She's still wrestling.
Mhm.
She does locker room talk. She does commentary, and I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I gotta think she's doing some agenting into some capacity backstage with some of the younger girls. Like she's like one of the veterans, like back there. So if I'm a young knockout, I'm gonna go to a Madison Rain, be like, hey, can you help me put this together? Because like you probably know the best way to put something like this together. So that's awesome, man. I agree with Critical Sting here. I said this to my guys, referee Nate and Basil, that those Warrior shows in Chicago, they're doing 3 outdoor stadium shows in their football stadium because they're a high school, and they literally look like Impact mini shows at this point. It's just crazy. And then Mark texted me, he's like, "You're going to those, right?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not sure," because they are. It's. I mean, I'm very friendly with them. I was asked to help out at some stuff, so I've definitely. I might as well. What the hell else might?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, what else?
Go for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not far. Basil's already going. Might as well jump in the car with him and go. So we'll see. But yeah, interesting what's coming up. So yeah, good for Madison. But no, this match was cool. If I had 2 matches like this, like 2 10-minute matches from Xplosion, like, you know, veteran versus a newer guy who's like getting a tryout, who gets his shit into, who looks strong. I'm like, dude, I can get behind this for sure. For sure. So really dug it. Zach did get the win, but I've never heard of Mims. Is he from anywhere? Does anybody know where the guy's from?
I was going to ask that too.
I tried to
did
find
a little NWA, their early TV studio show. Maybe 1 or 2. That's all I remember from him. But I think he's very local to his area. I don't think he really makes his way out.
What and Terrence is confirmed she's helping Gail as an agent as well. So yeah, so Madison is helping as an agent.
Makes sense.
Yeah, totally. What did you guys in the chat? I'm curious what everybody who's listening live, what did you guys think of the new commentary, the longer matches, the storytelling in the matches? Also, I gotta say, the aesthetic. I like to add these different lights in the background for Xplosion to fill in kind of the room and stuff. Yeah. It's got its own light setup, and I think it looks awesome. I'm a big fan of that. I think it really more and more now, from what I understand, they're not going to do any kind of crowd anything this year. So Impact is staying with the empty. Like everybody else is going to do the minimum crowd thing. They're going to stay with the way they're doing. They're like going to be the only one doing that.
It feels good. Like it feels right. So I have no complaints with that.
Yeah, I'm kind of like used to it now in a way. I'm like, this is their thing.
Yeah, I have no problem with it, but you're going to start hearing people comment about it.
Oh, for sure.
Now that the other ones are, especially down south. You're going to hear, oh, man, it's so silent in there. I'd love to hear some crowd noise.
I don't know. It's kind of nice to be able to hang your hat on a safety angle in a time of global safety. So,
what were you going to say, Alicia?
A couple of things. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this. I feel like it just feels like more of a showcase this way. You know what I mean? In a way where I'm appreciating the art form a lot more than, sometimes the distraction of the crowd.
Yes, for sure.
So I stick to it. I have no complaints. Like, if the other companies want to do it the way they want to do it, more power to them. I personally tried to watch one of them, and I'm not really into the fake crowd noises like they're doing at the sports arenas and stuff, because it just doesn't sound authentic. Well, it's you see them, you hear them losing their minds over things they shouldn't be losing their minds over, and then you look at the people in the background and they're completely deadpanned. Like there's no energy. Like someone's eating ramen.
For arm drags?
Eating ramen. I saw that Chris Benoit was front row at a show recently as well.
He was
coming back.
Oh my God. There was some wacky shit. There's a lot of room for error in what they're doing there.
Was the Kenny Omega one real? Was he really
I think he was
there, or did someone
No, it was a picture.
Oh, he tweeted about
it.
He
never moved.
He joked about it though, right? He probably.
He responded.
He said, "I didn't think anyone would notice."
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
The fact that he responded to that, it was hilarious. He was like, "Oh, they
got a good sense of humor over there. I'll give them that."
They caught me.
I want to address something Mystic Mecca is saying here. They can hear the banter between the wrestlers, and there's better in-ring stories.
Yes.
I love that.
I feel like this has been so much beneficial to the character growth that I'm getting a better view of who these people are as individuals, as opposed to just the run of the mill. Oh, it's the next guy. It's the next guy. It's the next guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. I like that. It reminds me a lot of So I don't know if any of you guys, this is going, but Mark, you might, because you're a Texas guy. Watch any World Class Championship Wrestling with the Von Erichs and stuff?
Oh my God, yes.
So they were revolutionary how they produced their TV, and one of the things they used to do back in the 80s was they were the first and only company who actually had a microphone on the ring post, and they would catch banter, and that was a thing that they would kind of differentiate themselves with. You'd hear that wrestlers talking shit. You'd even hear called spots, but in the 80s, nobody fucking knew what, tackle drop down, nobody know, take it home or shit like that. Nobody knew what that kind of stuff meant, take it home or whatever the hell. But it was really cool. And you're kind of hearing that now a little bit, the little shit talking, little mockery. And I'm again, going back to Alicia said, the character building during all this to me is I think when they come back to crowds, the Impact roster is going to be some of the best displayed character work you're going to see out of everybody, because they know how to, if you know how to work a camera and an empty arena, imagine what you're going to be able to do to a full
once the crowd's in there. Yep.
Absolutely. Because now you're secure in your character. Now you're secure in what works for you, what doesn't, where your confidence is, what isn't you're good, what you're not good at. I think it's going to be extremely interesting, man. So I'm looking forward whenever they come back to crowd. It's good. Actually, let me ask you, Bill. You've seen some of the guys on indie shows. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed anything? I don't know if it might be a stretch of a question, but have you noticed anybody almost looking stronger as a performer? Man, Ace Austin kind of was way more he's grown since I've last seen him in a way.
You can tell Ace Austin, but I think that was happening even pre-pandemic for Ace. His evolution from kind of United We Stand has been he just keeps getting there. And actually, at the indie show I was at on Saturday, now I've seen the second wrestler wrestle with a mask, a face mask. And he started the trend, Ace Austin. But Tasha, she's looking even more polished out there.
Yeah.
Kimber, she's always been polished, so I wouldn't say it's any different. It's just because she's always been solid.
She's been at it for a while.
Yeah. And Zach the same way. Zach was very I think he's already kind of got it down. But a Tasha and Ace just keep evolving from who I've seen live.
That's awesome. I'm curious when they come back. I did talk to Ross Foreman, who, by the way, thank you for the kind words about Total Nonstop Impact. Impact's Ross Foreman is a fan of the show. He said we do a great job, and he liked the Hakeem interview. Which, by the way, if you guys missed, I'm sorry, Hakeem, I said Rohit. If you guys missed the main show on Tuesday, we had the X-Division Champion Rohit Raju on for about an hour and a half ish. It's a late night, but I did notice, guys. As long as we did have him on, we properly blazed through the review with very good time. We touched on everything. So that made me realize that we don't have to spend 2.5 hours on a normal review without an interview. We can do that in an hour.
Yeah, we could, definitely. We could.
But do you want to?
But do we want to? We're chatty Cathy's over here, bro.
It's true, yes. But all I could think about, when I was watching, I'm like, man, how do we really wrapped up the review properly with detail in an hour? I'm like, man, what the hell ended up taking 2.5 hours on a non-interview episode? But J Bone's over there like, yeah, I wonder. That's why we're trying to for you.
It was an hour of sound bites.
That's true. It's an hour of fucking sound bites. But no, Ross, but I was talking to Ross about it, and we were just both discussing the character evolution and how it's just gone. The arena setup and things like that, and he was saying himself, he's like, I feel like we've done it really well. I feel like we have done this whole handled this with some of the best way possible, and just strengthening ourselves through it. And I'm like, we talk about it all the time, how you guys have really been the premier example on how to handle this and get the most out of it. More backstage segments, better vignettes, better acting. What are you gonna say, Jay?
I feel like my character's really growing. I'm really proud of it.
Absolutely, you've done great. The gimmick, the J-Bone gimmick has evolved.
The J-Bone gimmick.
It's been fantastic.
Oh wait, you're talking Impact. My bad.
Yeah, sorry. Take it easy.
But they are doing a good. They are doing a good job. Actually, if you can get Gary's comment up there, it's pretty. I think that's something to focus on, because Ethan did do a show, Twitch, over the weekend, a matinee show with Alpha One, his promotion, and he had at one point, I think it was about 15,000.
I heard it peaked at 16.5.
16.5.
Incredible.
So, I was at the Beyond show, the first one, not the last one in AC, the first one, and I heard that matinee weekend show did the best numbers ever for IWTV. So there's right now, while these things are going on, there's a demand for daytime weekend wrestling that's live. Impact, talking to you. Either no audience or team up with an indie. Do a matinee Saturday or Sunday show on Twitch. Get those viewers, get that audience. It's there. It's there for the taking. No knock against Ethan. He did a great job with his show, but there's an audience that wants to watch wrestling live
on a weekend.
There's no competition on a weekend.
Yeah.
So do like a either 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. show, a Saturday or Sunday, and you can knock it out of the park with those Twitch ratings.
Wrestling fans love to day drink.
They do. There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else.
There's no other shows going on. You might as well.
When you get to the night, there's a lot of competition.
True. A matinee show could be where it's at. I imagine Twitch is would love that kind of content. That's how probably how Ethan got on the main page of Twitch. The whole thing was there was an appearance, the main Twitch page will put stuff on every now and then. And he got a shit ton of unique views because people they'll click in and leave whatever, switch out. But he got a shit ton of those, and it's even the ones who stayed that ups your numbers. Fucking maybe Twitch is give us fresh live content on a weekend, we'll take it. So something for him back to think about. That's definitely something cool. I want somebody mentioned in the chat real quick. I do want to talk about this. Terrence did say there are some new shirts on shopimpact.com. So looking at them right now.
Dope.
Heath for Impact, new Sammy.
Sammy's got a really cool one.
That's a sweet shirt.
Nice. Is it the ICU with the faces?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's got there's the Good Brothers Talking Shop whiskey, like a little Jack Daniels ripoff one.
They're stepping up their game. It's getting a little better.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
The last couple of years were, I mean, they had some nice new stuff on there, but it was
last year and the year before was a little rough. It was a little rough. This year has been great. So good for them. But yeah, definitely check out some new shirts, guys. All right, let's keep talking. So Willie Mack around the ring with David Penzer, part 2 of Willie. Mark, you said you weren't too blown away by it, though. What's up?
I mean, I don't know. I like Willie. He's super chill. He seems like a real genuine guy. His character is who he is. But I don't know. It just was nothing earth-shattering. I thought it was just kind of a nice sit down, learn more about Willie Mack. But I don't know. Maybe after coming off the high of the new commentary team in the extra long match, it just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know. Or maybe we heard from Willie last week too. You know, nothing against Willie or Penzer. Just wasn't feeling the sit down around the ring this week.
He's just super, super chill.
He's so chill.
He's
like I think that's what it was though. He was like, for example, Penzer was like, Willie, what do you like to do? And he was like, I don't know, lay in bed.
Like,
Penzer was like, okay, well,
it was an energy for sure.
Yeah,
play with my cats. You know, go out, get the rent money every now and then from the bank. Get some essential shit.
Super normal,
scratch my ass.
It was literally like the most real. Like he wasn't on. Right? He was just like,
no.
It's the shoot, man. It's the Penzer shoot interview.
It really like this was the biggest shoot I've ever heard because it was like he didn't turn on any like people like get in character like all right, well you know like they'll be on for the camera. He's just like, man, it's fucking crazy, man. I'm X-Division Champion and shit. Like Petey had that belt, man. Like AJ, not me. Like,
okay.
Like, he literally was just talking like he'd be talking with us. Like, man, how fucking cool as all, man. Just,
yeah, and he even talks about the guys. He's talking about, oh, he's cool. He's like, oh yeah, Moose is cool. He's like, wait, Moose is cool. He's like, when he wants to be.
I wrote that down.
He's like,
that's a shoot too, right? Because everyone says that about Moose. Like,
Moose is definitely Moose has his way, man. But Moose was cool with me. I always had a good experience with Moose. But people. But yeah, Penzer did keep cracking up, Josh. He was like, because it was like so chill. Like you have Penzer trying to like ask formal like questions in his mind, and he's like, "That's it, yeah, cool. You're seeing when like fucking so and so beat the shit out of me, or Kurt Angle whooped my ass." Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Now that's the one difference because this is a very Tenay like interview style.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Penzer's reactions are the total opposite of Tenay. Because Tenay would get all serious and pissed off, and then Penzer like, that's good. All right, it's awesome. Like it's Penzer. And then I obviously I was telling you guys before we went on because I was just promoting the show and I was like, oh, we have Penzer around the ring, and Penzer's responding, and he's like, I'm like, hey, how about you come on the show one of these times? He's like, sure, anytime. So. Hopefully, David Penzer is a future guest.
Why don't you, Bill, if you want to respond to that, get him in for not this weekend, but next Tuesday. We'll do it for that week. Let's get. I would love to talk. I love David Penzer. I was a huge WCW guy. So he was the guy. You know, he was the WCW ring announcer. It's like either him or Gary Capetta, and I'm like, all David. To me, it's David Penzer. He's during the boom era for me. So that'd be cool.
And he's been very humble since his return. Like whenever we throw compliments his way, he's like, "Oh, you can't be talking about me."
Yeah, super humble. I'm like, dude, no, you're fucking. You've been around for a long time. One thing like people don't realize about David Penzer, he gave a lot of cruiserweights their break in WCW. Like he was the guy who booked like the Kidmans and Canyon and fucking like all those like the Young Dragons and all those guys in WCW. Like he was given all, including Scott D'Amore. He booked D'Amore for WCW Saturday Night. That's the connection. So it's kind of like friends take care of each other kind of thing, you know. Like, but he was like there for so a lot of people you saw on WCW Saturday Night was like booked by David Penzer. So the guy's been around a long time. So I would love to talk to the Flock, all that stuff, man. He was around for that. So, but yeah, let's keep going. So yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed it. It's like super chill. It's Willie being Willie, man. You're not gonna. There's not too much.
Interview. It doesn't make for the best interview, but it sure is funny, and it gives you a real insight into who Willie Mack really is. He's his character.
I wonder how he would do on a panel of like Willie versus like 5 of us. You know, like we bring him on as one of the squares. here.
Oh yeah.
And it's like we're all asking him these questions. He's like,
yeah,
that's fucked up, man. Like, all right, Willie, come on, let's get down to it. Like, who are you smoking with before, during, and after the tape? I want to know. You gotta know it's a fucking Rascalz, man. I mean, shit, that's a given right there. Like, just some answers like that. I want to hear that kind of shit. So,
you did go over the King of the Mountain rules one more time.
Yes. Okay, that's the highlight. Because Penz is like, okay, now before you leave, what are the rules for the King of the Mountain? And he fucking nailed it again. Like the only guy who knew, and he nailed it again, which is awesome.
And then Penzer wants him to rip it too. He's like, well, why do you put the belt up at the top? Why do you do the reverse? Well, why do you do the reverse ladder? What's the deal with that?
He didn't rip it. He's like, that's different.
Like, yeah. Penzer was like, yeah. Why do you do that? I don't get it.
It was funny because Penzer's like, why do you have to put the belt on the hook at the end? He's like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's different. But that makes you kind of want to see a King of the Mountain match. Like I really like all I thought about.
They built a new penalty box.
They have. It was ready for that
it's
show.
It's sitting in some warehouse. It's not in my. It's not in my.
You didn't buy it. You didn't happen to pay for it on the auction site or anything.
Not yet.
All right, cool, man. That was good. So the throwback match was Matt Hardy, cold-blooded Matt Hardy with dreadlocks. Let's never let that happen. Against AJ Styles on a Impact episode from the big
Victory Road.
Victory Road. Yeah.
Was that Victory Road?
Yeah.
Victory Road 11. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a Impact episode before Lockdown because they had the Road to Lockdown in the back on the screen in the background. So
look at them promoting during Victory Road.
That was at the big soundstage. That was like the big one, right? That was number 20 or 21. I forget which one it was. That was Victory Road 2009. That was like when they showed that aerial, I'm like, man, they really had like the huge fucking soundstage during like the peak time, man, with like the big extra video screen on the side and all that. That was pretty cool.
As an aside to that, my daughter walked through the room during that match and said, "Wow, was that Impact?" So
no, she's seeing
how many people were there. Yeah,
interesting. I mean, now she's seeing it now. There's empty arena stuff. It's a whole different dynamic.
well, she's used to it being what we were seeing in before pandemic. Yeah. So, but not what it was in 2009. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, because the big soundstage, the original Impact Zone used to fit comfortably like 1,200, packed like sardines, 15. So like if it was a pay-per-view, they pack it like sardines, and it was like 1,500 in there. Loud as fuck too, which was awesome. But yeah, it was interesting. It was cool. I remember seeing this match. It was the broken Matt Hardy that we got to see later on. But this was like at the time where people kind of turned on him during this time. I remember this. People were really not into Matt Hardy during this era at all.
This was a very I remember this specifically. This is back when he started his YouTube stuff, and he'd be on YouTube high as shit. Like Rebby, his wife, was braiding his hair, and Matt's just staring into the camera while she's braiding his hair into these dreadlocks or whatever, and he's just gone. He's just gone. It was really, and it's that look specifically. It's like, oh wait, wasn't that a mugshot? Yeah, that was a mugshot too. Yeah, this is a really dark period. Yeah. I saw him after this. After he cleaned up, like it was right prior to all the broken stuff. So I saw him like right in between, and he, this was bad. I wouldn't have picked this one to showcase, but hey, whatever.
This was a bad night for the Hardys. Remember the main event on this pay-per-view?
Oh my God!
Was
that the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was 2011.
This is 2011. I don't know why this is 2011. I don't know why people keep saying 20. This is 2011.
Okay. I want to point out Critical Sting is asking, didn't Matt go to Ring of Honor and get eviscerated by the crowd? I was at that show, and it was some of the fucking worst heat I have ever heard in my entire life. And then
I can imagine.
Yeah, and then just a couple years later, they're like, everybody was on his shit about the broken thing, though, which I think is hilarious. Like, they were fucking just eviscerating him at Ring of Honor. And this is like during Ring of Honor's like a hot Ring of Honor time too. and like they just fucking hated him because he did those cue card things where he's like after they like tore him apart in the Indies, he did that like cue card video where he's like, I don't know why everybody hates me. Maybe because I'm rich. Maybe because I was on TV. And like that's when it kind of.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That's when he turned it into like that, where he became like the rich. Oh, I'm a star.
Big Money Matt.
Big Money Matt.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Good times.
I gotta say that's when they. I mean, he's always a guy who turns that negative into something, though, man. He got eviscerated, turned into Big Money Matt. Did the broken thing, became gigantic off of that. Like, I don't know. I'll give it to Matt Hardy. He always finds a way to keep evolving somehow. Recap match was the Guns and North rematch, tag team titles. Guns retained. It just happened a couple weeks ago. So that's Xplosion this week.
Xplosion! No Nate Bach.
No Nate Bach. They made the Xplosion man.
Need you, Nate.
Oh, man.
Let's open it up. Any couple topics you guys want to talk about? Discuss anything that we could rip on PWI some more, I guess. But
I gotta give you a quick family update thing.
Oh, what do we got?
So I had my kids come over last night and did some grilling out. My daughter brought over her new boyfriend.
Oh shit! There we go.
Not Kyle, right?
Not Kyle. It's not. Yeah,
not
let's
Kyle.
confirm.
Who is not Kyle?
Just make sure.
Yeah.
And he was an absolute pleasure to have at the house. He was very shy, very quiet, very shy, but very nice. And I don't want to get into a bit of a rant like I did on my last show right before this, so I'll be nice and not do that on here. But just briefly touching and regarding what's going on in the climate an hour south of me, where
right by you,
where my daughter lives. My daughter lives a half a block away from disaster. Like the town's just gone. She stayed at her boyfriend's house. He's like, no, you come stay by me while this is going on. So I thanked him in person for doing that. So
yeah, you are right in the thick of it. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's right by you, man. Holy shit. So
Wisconsin making national news again. Yay, for all the wrong fucking reasons.
It's so funny. I was listening to a podcast about it, and it was all these people discussing it, and like just hearing people talk about Kenosha, Wisconsin. Like, dude, it's a small town, like on the way to Milwaukee from Chicago. Like it's a stop off, like gas up town, like a bunch of fast food, like a Cracker Barrel and shit. Which I always stop at.
It's a college town. There's 2 colleges in it, so there's a lot of students there. And
just hearing how like mainstream it is. But here's a little thing about Kenosha. Next to Kenosha is a town called Racine, Wisconsin, where TNA actually ran a house show years ago. But
now, am I crazy? Did when that 70s show did a wrestling one with The Rock? Did they go to Kenosha? It wasn't Milwaukee. It was Kenosha, right?
It was Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yes.
Yeah.
That was it. It's a cool little town, man. Like we used to go there as kids all the time because they had like this like go-karting thing, and like we go to Milwaukee all the time. We always stop, and I still like go there all the time. Like Nurse Nicole used to live in Kenosha. She went to her nursing school there, so like it's a cool little town. Sad to see what's going on there though. So if anybody's listening out there, definitely stay safe, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's rough, man. What else? So we had a couple questions here. We got a few. Let's see. I just saw some over here in the chat. Let me pull them back up. All right. Hakeem's asking, what do you guys want to impact to improve upon going into that 5-year plan? Man, interesting. Mark, I want to get your opinion. I'll start with you because like we discussed, we're kind of in like our discussion bubble a lot, but let me ask your opinion on that one.
I'll start right where we're at. I think we're seeing the first steps to Xplosion becoming a real viable B show, I hope. In the next, not in the next 5 years, by next year, I'd like to see Xplosion on TV in the States again, syndicated. They have their own network. There's no reason for Xplosion not to be on the air. Absolutely none. So that's where I'm putting you guys already know that's where I'm putting my energy, right? Like this whole TNI family and crew can make a difference. We stated examples on shows in the past. We've seen it happen. I'm putting my energy into Xplosion. I'm glad a lot of other people are too. I think we're going to end up being very happy with what Impact returns to us because we already know they take care of their fans.
Yeah.
So
if I can answer this one, I want to see them when touring resumes. I think Impact's got a really good opportunity to like hit towns that the other ones aren't hitting at all. Like I'm talking like hit Texas. For a lot of Texas is untapped. Honestly, like there's so much of Texas that nobody goes to for wrestling. Like Mark's always like nobody comes here. And like shit like there are so many like people beat Chicago to fucking death on shows. Like Chicago is literally just like it is.
Oh, we have so many great shows to see.
It's too much. It's just a point where like
turns out the crowd. Yeah, it's true. Look at Florida. Those fans are freaking lemmings down there. They don't know what to cheer for anymore.
Well, no, like as somebody who works for an indie, there's only so many dollars that because the fans are the same for whatever. They'll go to everything, right? There's only so many dollars or ways you can stretch that fan's dollar. And it's like you burn out the crowd so much. Because like there was a stretch here. I swear to God, last year we had a thing where it was like AAW ran. The fucking MLW came the week after. And then fucking Evolve came the week after that. And then like our other local one, Freelance, was like the week after. I'm like, dude, it is the same people at all the shows. And I'm like, you cannot fucking stretch that dollar that many ways. To the point where, like until like it's just you are gonna and so Chicago's really getting to that burnout point. But like they can hit, I want them to hit towns like people barely hit like Texas, like parts of Texas.
Hey, go north of Chicago, Milwaukee. Hey.
Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee doesn't get a lot. They get a couple. They don't get a lot.
They get Tommy from time to time.
Yeah.
And MLW once.
But like who goes to like New Mexico?
MLW
Arizona?
came once and gave the fuck up.
Yeah. But like New Mexico, Arizona, parts of California nobody goes to. The Pacific Northwest, nobody fucking goes to Oregon. No, barely. Like I'm like saying that's where Impact needs to hit. Is like hit those other towns that nobody's fucking going to and get those people on board. And I think that's a good way to try it. So it's something I thought up for a while. Like there's so many untapped locales that you can just go to that have sports arenas or mini sports arenas or minor league team arenas, whatever it is, that you can utilize, man. So I don't know. I think that's one I wanted to see in the 5-year plan. Definitely up the live experience even more.
Yeah. Tacking on the live experience when it's allowed. If I'm them, I do a big UK tour.
Yes.
Big European tour.
Oh, yeah.
So many of
the
our
time's right. The time's right. The fan base from years ago is still there. They wanted, and they don't have other options. All I hear from them is like, and especially honestly, the E has killed the wrestling scene over there by taking all their guys and not letting them work indies anymore. And now with they got all the speaking out movement, like killed every school over there. So they need wrestling, and they're big TNA Impact fans. So I would definitely make that a priority as soon as it opens up.
Absolutely. Brian's in your Skulls in your, and we work at AAW together. Just to backtrack real quick, and he's saying the same fucking. It's so true. I'm telling you, it's a thing we struggle. By the way, him and I are going to watch Bill and Ted 3 on Wednesday. Just put that on.
Oh, I'm watching on Wednesday too.
Nice. We're going on
We should
Wednesday.
have a review.
Nice.
That review.
We're going to the drive-in next weekend to see it.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Jay, Alicia, have you guys watched this yet?
What is it?
New Bill and Ted.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Definitely. I can't wait. I can't wait to Wednesday. I want to see it.
I can't wait to see it.
Be
I'd
excellent
like
to each other.
Yeah, like theaters literally just opened up around here last week, so I'm sure it's getting shown. Look, they're even showing that Train to Busan 2, the Peninsula, and I've heard nothing but negative about it, but the trailer looked insane. I still want to see it, so I'm tempted to hit the theater, but I'm also very cautious at the same time, so I might just get it on demand. But I still
they'll be packed.
Joe Schmo, in case I come to Idaho, absolutely. It's another state. Nobody hits it. But I got to ask, is your avatar photo you on the toilet looking like you just had a really bad meal? That's what That's an amazing avatar.
Oh, man.
But no,
funny.
Bill, I'm with you. UK tour. So many of our listeners who are in the UK are like, we are dying for them to come out here, and their ratings are fantastic in the UK. So it's like, what the hell is holding them back? Just co-op with somebody out there. And like you said, their scene's decimated. Like between what WWE did to their scene and their own people did to that scene, their scene's like dead in a lot of ways. or it's around, but nowhere near what it was. I think it's a great time. There's some new promotions popping up in the wake of all this shit that's happening. So, with the pandemic shutting down some things, that schools that got shut down because of the speaking out. So it's like there's a great opportunity to go back and fill that void. So I'm hoping. Well, that's what happens for sure. Alabama is another one, Terrence. That's thing. Nobody goes to who goes to fucking Alabama to run shows. That's another. I'm telling you, there's so many.
The swingman goes there.
Swingman does go there. He definitely swings out that way to Alabama. If anybody does, the swingman.
You guys swing?
Absolutely. Alabama does.
And just a shout out to Johnny Swinger. He did make the top 500. He should have been higher, in my opinion, but they obviously don't take wins and losses into account because if they did, they would not have made it. But they recognize the swingman is the swingman. He was in the 400 something range.
Oh,
can I? Well, go ahead, Jay. What do you say? I was just saying
435.
The fact that Johnny is making any list like that in 2020, I think is an accomplishment in and of itself.
It is
fantastic. 30-year veteran, huh? What do you say?
I saw a Facebook post from a friend of the show, Chris Nelson, who runs Preppy Pirate Outfitters.
Oh yeah,
where I got this lovely headband over here. It's autographed by Johnny Swinger. And speaking of Johnny Swinger, the Preppy Pirate Outfitters is coming out with another official, and I mean official. This thing looks like $1 million. Johnny Swinger headband.
Oh
no shit.
So I asked them in the Facebook comments. I'm like, hey, are we going to be able to buy those online? Because man, I want to buy this one. This one's like all bright colors. Like it's absolutely. In fact, I'm going to see if I could quick find it.
That's awesome. I would rock it.
It's all about the swingman.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely nice.
Swinging.
Any other? What else we got here in the chat? Any other questions? We got anything else? Trent will Impact create an AXS Championship or Caribbean Championship for their second tier wrestling. I don't know about a Caribbean Championship, but AXS title was something I said even before Down South made their own title named after the channel they're on. I was calling it. I think an AXS title would have been awesome. It sounds cool. That would have been a cool one to do, but
do what Tommy did. Bring back the Twitch title.
Twitch title's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. They just need another title. Like you need another one in there in that mix. There's too many guys who are just not. They have nothing to fight for. And then for the knockouts, that knockouts tag belt has to come in. I think it's time.
Agreed.
So we're about that at that stage where
they're holding off a little too long.
Yeah, like it's like okay, people are buzzing about it so much. You guys are really stretching this out, man. Like, can we just go ahead and pull the trigger on it? So we'll see.
Please.
Well, we've said that about Impact before, right? They do this to us a lot, long and slow, and then the payoff's huge. So at least it'll be nice when we get it.
I want to talk about this. Mears pointed out something really interesting. So it's Impact versus NXT the next couple of weeks because of reprogramming and stuff, right? So NXT moved to Tuesdays next couple of weeks. I got a weird feeling though. This is going to be kind of good for Impact. Like imagine almost an impromptu, fight on Tuesday night, right? Like an impromptu channel battle where it's like people you got the dueling hashtags going on and you got the fans.
It's all going to be about that hashtag on Tuesday night. Impact on AXS TV.
Everyone's got to turn up.
Well, imagine all those fans who are watching are kind of casual. Yeah, let me see what Impact's doing. Like all the NXT fans who never watch, even if you get a small percentage of them just feeling like, oh, they're on. I heard they're on at the same time. They'll do the old flip back and forth thing like they do right now.
Because I think, we figured it out. It's the same 800,000 people going back and forth on Wednesdays.
Yeah, we know for sure now.
Yeah.
None of them grow when they go on separate nights.
Nope.
I've been fucking saying this since the beginning. It was like 1.6 million. I'm like, it's not fucking 1.6 million people. It's the same.
Look at that swing time.
That's fucking awesome.
Holy look at this thing.
That goes right with my Swingman t-shirt. I might have to go grab it.
That's great.
Buying it.
That's excellent.
Perfect, like bandana for the pandemic bandana. Have one just says swing time. Amazing. What's the price of it? What's the ticket on it?
I don't know. It's gonna be he's gonna be at a store thing and it's gonna be featured there. So I'm gonna talk to him, see if I can order one online.
You're buying it. You're buying each one of us one for Christmas, Jay. That's amazing. Thank you very much.
Well, hopefully we can buy some T-shirts and then maybe we'll make that possible.
No, it's awesome.
I would buy from the gimmick table, but I think he got pulled from the show I was going on. He's no longer on the poster.
Oh,
September 12th.
That sucks. I wonder what.
I gotta hope maybe he will still show up.
Mrs.
Bring the
Swinger,
gimmick table.
Mrs. Swinger might have pulled the plug. Say, hey, listen, you're not going to Alabama. We got to swing later.
Well, he's focusing a lot in Tennessee right now.
Yeah. He
might not want to go out of state as much.
He's so busy. Somebody was saying I was listening to an interview with somebody. It was Stevie Richards was saying that he's helping Johnny Swinger start a podcast. And it's it's amazing because Swinger doesn't fucking know technology. Like he's like everything you see on TV is a fucking shoot. Like he doesn't know what the fuck a podcast even is. So he's like, the gimmick of the show is him just not knowing what the fuck he's doing. And it's like, so he's helping him get started. And I want to like
Russo or separate.
I think it's separate. It's not a Russo. It's going to be separate. I want to tell Steve Richards like, hey, he's actually been on our show. Like he actually can figure it out when he's shown the way. But he's gonna like teach him. He's gonna co-host with him.
Us, Swingman.
Oh,
we'll make room for the Swingman.
Oh, absolutely. So he's doing that. So Johnny Swinger's doing a podcast, but he's staying busy. Like, but no, Steve Richards was like, everything you see is not a gimmick. Like that is 110%. That dude is like 1988 all the time. Like and it's funny because I remember over here at Hard to Kill backstage, he was on the phone like handling a booking, and he's like most people, like everybody is on the phone when they put their like shit on their phone calendars and stuff. He's like, let me get my book. I got my book. I gotta write this down. I got my calendar. I'm gonna get my calendar gimmick, and I'll put it in the calendar gimmick, and I'll let you know when what dates I got open. And then, dude, he was literally on the phone with like somebody booking him and calling it his calendar gimmick. That his book he's got to go get out of his bag. I'm like, man, most people be like, let me check what dates I got open here. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm open on this. Like, dude had a fucking Nokia flip phone talking about his calendar gimmick. It was amazing.
Brilliant.
So no, Swinger definitely cool. But yeah, the fact that he's doing a podcast is mind-boggling. Is Trent going to any toga parties this week? No, I'm not.
Toga.
No toga parties. But there was a great Saved by the Bell episode with a toga party. That's the one they get a drunk driving episode. That's the one.
Life lessons.
Life lessons. Definitely pay attention. That's a very telling episode, guys.
Is that as good as the Growing Pains with the cocaine party?
Yes. Ooh. I think the cocaine party outdoes the Saved by the Bell drunk driving episode.
Yeah.
Cocaine. Bringing that up on like a fucking like a 80s sitcom was like a wholesome family sitcom. I was like, come on, man, don't you want to do some lines? It's like, oh, shit.
Man,
by the way, good.
Jesse Spano's little battle with uppers there was pretty serious business on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, the sugar pills?
The caffeine pills she was on.
The caffeine pills, yeah.
She was so excited.
She's so scared.
So scared. No,
sorry, we don't mean to make light of.
No, but
man, this is horrible.
Train wreck.
That's my favorite soundbite now.
It is a great soundbite.
It's the best one. This is really horrible. Do it again.
Man, this is horrible.
We need more Saved by the Bell ones in here. Sitcom update, everybody. I'm on almost done with season 2 of Fuller House, which, by the way, has become pretty endearing as I've gone on.
Like decent.
It's a simple, easy watch. Cheesy, predictable, very easy watch. Highly recommend if you need something dumb on in the background.
Mark's just shaking his head.
Fuller House. The weirdest thing to me is that Stephanie Tanner, who I grew up watching as a child, who's like my age, nearly, is like, it's so weird to see when you see a child sitcom star and like there's like punchlines about the fact that she has a boob job now. I'm like, that's like punchlines in the show, and she's like, I'm like, damn man, like you're still Stephanie Tanner to me. What the fuck? And she's like making sex.
How
jokes,
rude.
like, rocking sex jokes and like talking about getting fucking drunk and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here, man? You're Stephanie Tanner. Something to come to. First season's all rocky because of that. It takes you a while to settle into that whole new that whole new lifestyle they got, guys.
Cobra Kai just hit YouTube too. I'm actually really excited
fucking
about that
awesome.
because
Same here.
It was stuck on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay on YouTube to watch that shit. I wanted to watch it for free because I'm already paying for internet and cable and whatever else. So yeah, now it's on Netflix, which I do have. So I'm actually very excited. And season 3, I guess, is coming next year.
Next year, yeah, it's delayed till next year. Cobra Kai is phenomenal. I had YouTube Premium, so I was watching it. It is so good. Now it's on Netflix. I highly recommend that one.
I'm very excited to see Dickwad Ralph Macchio in this. Like,
Oh, dude, what a dick! He was the heel the whole time. That's what you find out, basically. We come to a piece of today like that fucker.
Hey
was
man, we haven't watched it yet, bro.
It's not ruining anything. It's not ruining anything.
We knew that anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch, so it's not killing anything for me.
You can tell by the trailer. It's like, oh, he's selling cars. He's a car salesman now. He's all cheesy as shit. It's like, oh,
Well, he got his revenge, man. Do you remember what those guys did to him at the dance? The skeletons? Come on, man.
You know, he actually disrupted their lives, to be honest. Now that I think about it. Now that I
Coming
think,
from Jersey?
he comes in, this son of a bitch comes into their town. First, he starts macking on the guy's girlfriend, right? And the guy's like trying to talk to her at the beach. And he's like, hey, you still want to play soccer? And he's like, I'm trying to talk to my girlfriend. He's like, hey, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to talk to my girl. And he's like, all right, dude. Fuck you. He's like Jersey up in this bitch, and he's like, whatever, man. He like, whoops his ass, right? He gets his ass handed to him. Now he's all pissed off. And he's like,
I love it.
Like Johnny's like, I'm trying to talk to my, you keep interrupting your goddamn soccer ball. Go fuck yourself, you know? And then all this shit happens, and all of a sudden Johnny's a bad guy because he's trying to get his girl back. Fuck all that, man. This is bullshit. He came and disrupted their lives, trying to all over the girl.
It's always over a girl.
Always over a goddamn woman, man. The fuck? But no, unfortunately. But yeah, Johnny is fantastic in Cobra Kai. I gotta say, you learn to love him because you feel like, man, he got fucked.
Well, because Billy Zap is the man.
Dude, he's great, man.
That's awesome.
What else has he been in though? That's like I only know him as Johnny.
He's on something else around that time of Karate Kid in a big part. What was he in?
Oh, wasn't it like Thrasher or something?
It was something else where he played like the same guy. Like he played like the asshole. Like
I think that was like a reoccurring role for him.
Yeah.
Typecasted.
80s California douchebag, dude. Like good looking blonde guy, drives a cool car, rich parents. So he's good at everything he does except compassion. You know, I'm like shit like that. So
he was like Mr. Perfect. Like he would hit the free throws. He did it all.
Nobody's reacting to like this talk at all in the chat. They're all like, all right, guys, anyway, who you want them back to sign?
Look at the time.
We'll take a few more questions.
Soft shoe out.
Indie Stars Impact to sign. Everybody knows I'm down for Karam, and not unbiasedly with the connection to Rohit, but I think Karam is young. He got it right. He's extremely good. I think Karam is like, you get him early now in his career. That guy's a star. He looks like $1 million. He could talk. He's only a couple years in, man. He could talk. He has a look. He can work. And he's part of that crew. He's part of the Jake, Rohit, Xavier Walker, Palmer Cruz crew. Like their little Michigan group of dudes. Those like the good, wholesome Michigan guys. He's part of that crew. And it's like, man, he fits right in with those boys. And I'm with Karam, man. I don't know about Bill and Alicia. Like, let's go to you two next, as you go to a lot of indie shows. What do you got?
The list is long.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
Throw a few that you like.
Well, it depends. It depends who you consider signed or not. If they're doing some random Ring of Honor or something dates, I don't consider them signed.
No.
So like Alex Zane, I mentioned before, I put him very high on the list.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then with the thing with MLW, Davey Boy Smith Jr., I think he'd be a great get. Now he's obviously more of a veteran. If they're talking more like the young, hungry indie guys, from the guys they brought in, Ben Carter, I think he's got a lot of potential. And obviously with that UK influence, that wouldn't be a bad thing. There's a lot. There's a lot of guys out there. Still a lot of females too out there that would be great additions to the roster. There's not. everybody was worried a couple of years ago that the indie scene was going to dry up with all these ones, but it just showed you another level of guy. Like there's talent out there still. Even though
There's always going to be a new batch.
Yeah. Even though they pick them clean, they're finding different reasons to sign different people. But like there's people that have been on the scene for years due to issues like Speedball Mike Bailey, like who had the visa stuff in Canada. If he gets more available, he'd be a great get. The list goes on. Oh, AR Fox. That guy's been on the indies forever. And that's one of the most talented guys out there.
Yeah.
Fox, Fox is fan. And you got the chat sound off on this too. Fox is great. I think he has just has stuff personally that I think Pete that has kept him away from certain things, but yeah, Fox is fantastic. He could be difficult to figure out, but he's like match of the night guy every time. Alicia, have you ever heard of Christy Janes?
Yes.
What do you think of Christy Janes? I think she's awesome, but I want to get your opinion on her.
I've only seen her a couple of times, but from what I've seen, I really like. She's very talented. She's been on the scene for a while.
Yeah. She's got a lot of energy. Like she connects with a crowd really well. Like she's so likable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not at that Kylie level of like super endearing, but like she's really she's like a good power up baby face. And I like that about her. I think she could be a really cool addition to Impact. Knockouts.
Yeah, definitely.
Hakeem says Lufisto. Yeah, long
Lufisto, yeah.
A lot of people have been on Lufisto. Did she retire? I can't think she either like goes in and out.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
Last year she looked like she was wrapping it up because she said her knee was giving her trouble.
Okay.
But now she's been on indie days. Well, I don't know about recently because of everything, but last year all of a sudden, like several months after she was talking about her knee thing, then she started hitting the indies again. So I don't really know. I mean,
it'd be cool to see her.
Yeah, because she's incredible. Like I saw her on Flow Slam a handful of times, and that's how I became a fan of her.
People love her, man. She's got a huge following. Like this is really over.
Well, she's got a long history under her belt. Yeah. She's wrestled everywhere.
I saw her a bunch in Shimmer, Chicago, like where a lot of the girls were at. I mean, obviously I've seen a ton of them in Shimmer, but I started seeing her in Shimmer, I want to say, 2006. Like she was early.
That sounds about right. Yeah, she's been doing it a while. She's been on the scene. So yeah, she's one that deserves a break. Like I know it took like Mercedes Martinez just kind of got her break, and she's been doing it like kind of that same time frame. So
yeah, Lufisto, she had a stroke or something, didn't she? She had like some real bad health like setback. Like it was random. I could have sworn.
She had an injury. I know that.
I think she did have something. I don't know if it was a stroke or I don't want to speculate, but I have a feeling it was something. She may have been diagnosed with something at some point, is what my memory's telling me.
Something came up with her. And I know I remember seeing a video she put out about like her health and like something.
And that
happened.
might be why you're thinking retirement, because I think at the time she was like contemplating, I'm probably going to have to retire.
Okay.
That's what I think it was too, but I didn't want to say that without knowing for sure.
And she, whatever it was, I know she beat it. Like she's back on. So, definitely it's something. Yeah. So I'm glad people ask. I at least see a Lufisto tweet every Tuesday night. There's somebody in the Impact on Access hashtag that mentions Lufisto every week. It seems like I constantly see her name floating around. So she's great. Any other names you guys know? Mark, anybody that you've seen?
Lacey Ryan that we talked about.
Lacey Ryan, yeah.
Well. Yep.
She's Vegas, right? She's a Vegas girl.
Yep.
So they're bringing a lot out of Vegas. I think they got a good partnership with what's a promotion in Vegas? It's slipping my mind right now. The one in Vegas.
Oh, Future Stars of Wrestling.
Yeah, FSW.
Yeah, so that's where Cross and Bay came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they got a good relationship with them. So yeah, I mean, like Future, they need a good school to kind of partner up with too. Like I know they have some loose partnerships with like, well now the new one in Ohio. I forgot the new name of it. It's not the Rock
Ohio Valley Wrestling. It's OVW still.
OVW, no, the other one that in Dayton that Zach and Kim took over.
Oh yeah.
Rockstar.
Well, they changed the name, didn't they, to something else now? That's the thing.
I think they did. They may have changed the name to something, but I forget what it is.
They casually kind of put that in like the word because they're like really getting rid of all the history of Rockstar, like Chris involvement. Yeah, so when Zach made the tweet about it, he said that the new name was something. I forgot.
I know the wrestling school is Believe or whatever.
I think that's it.
But did
That's
they
the
change the whole promotion?
None of the promotion's staying, but the school is called Believe now.
Yeah, it's Believe Wrestling School.
Yeah, that's it.
Like Believe in Aliens.
Yes, too sick for this world, man. Believe in those aliens.
A lot of good names being thrown around the chat. A lot of good names I agree with.
Yes, Holly Dead, Jodie Frost from Alpha One.
Tony Deppen, yeah.
I'd like to see Viperous.
Viperous. What else we got here? Vikingo, which is people have been asking for forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that guy's incredible.
Yeah, pay that man.
Oh,
Pay that man ASAP. Put him on the payroll.
Put on payroll. Pay that man. One
Jodie
more.
Threat. Yeah, she's dope.
Jodie Threat's awesome. Yeah, she came into her. I worked with her out of some promos. She had her to AEW like 2-3 times. Definitely good in the ring. Definitely good in the ring. She's. I think she still needs a couple of years on these to develop like the promo and character work. She's super timid on the camera though. Like definitely super. And Brian could probably attest this. We've seen those. She like just needs a little more time to like get comfortable with that character. She's good in the ring, but like TV, I think a little bit more on Jodie Threat. But I wouldn't mind seeing her at some point.
Well, in her defense, we've had a couple of people who started off unsteady and really grew into themselves. I'd like to point out Kira and Jordan.
Yeah, that's true though. And as long as Jordan even had on the indies too, you're right. She came into TV and she was still like not there yet. But then, man, within like a fucking half a year, she was.
Oh,
boom.
she evolved. And Kira's really grown into herself. I feel like because hasn't been in that long in the business, right? But I feel like we've grown with her. And seeing what she's doing now, she's really, really something to watch in the ring.
That's true. And Terrence is a good point. Maybe you would throw some managers in those things too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, everyone's being a smartass about the one question, including Marq. What's the best feud of the Anthem era? What's the best feud of the Anthem era? What's the best feud of the Anthem? All right, thank you. We get Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. That's my favorite one. So
that's pretty good.
Man,
That's up
good.
there.
That's good.
Should I just say something to make you upset, Trent?
Go ahead. What's the best feud of the Anthem era?
Sammy Tessa.
Sammy Tessa. Okay.
Tessa Taya.
Okay. Shit. What do you got?
I liked. I think my first thing would be Sammy, Eddie, but my second, seeing as you guys said it already, I'll say OG LAX versus New School LAX was damn. Yeah, right before Santana and Ortiz took off. Damn, they lit that up, and Eddie Kingston was so money, and it was. Oh yeah. Rich. So yeah, that was really cool too. And that match they had where they literally tore apart the ring and they were
my god,
the boards. It was so uncomfortable to watch.
I was there for that.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Bound for Glory.
Yep.
Brutal.
You could hear the fucking board.
Oh god. I can see it in my mind.
Yeah, there's no faking that at that point. That's real wood. Those aren't cushioned.
Well, people think it's not a trampoline,
You're
man.
stuck in between the boards and shit, and
dude, they had to kick the boards back into place because the ring was falling apart. Oh my god, what a match!
Yeah,
the one point where the board was slipping when they were doing moves. Someone's gonna break their neck.
Yeah, they were like they had to run one way instead of running with they had to run against the boards as opposed to with the boards so that the boards wouldn't slip underneath them. And oh my god,
man, we should do a watch along for that match.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. That's cool, man. There's some shots where you could definitely see Bill on camera. Me and Nicole kind of pop up a few times. We're like right off to the corner. Where were you sitting, Alicia, for that one?
We got there late, so they put us up in the VIP, up in the rafters.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We were like mere feet from where they filmed the promos in front of the screens and stuff.
Oh no shit! Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to watch that. I haven't seen that in a while, so that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Nice. All right.
I think everyone's pointing it out though, because because I saw it here too. The Pentagon and Sammy was great too. I think that I just give Sammy. Like Sammy put it on his back. I think he had probably 3 of the best feuds during that whole era.
I really think, yeah, I agree, man. Sandy Callahan really has become the fucking MVP very, very quickly in Impact Wrestling. Like,
so it's about to turn too, because right now he doesn't he's done Shamrock and RVD stuff, but he's just ready. He's chomping at the bit for this next huge feud, like main event caliber feud. Is it back to
coming,
Eddie?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Something, man. Like we need Sammy back in the mix.
Agreed.
I gotta bring this up real quick. Last week we were talking how some people buy and sell stuff from pro wrestling crates and stuff like that. Yeah. And you're talking about someone bought a bunch of RVD shirts. I was in one of the last one that was Impact Wrestling. And I specifically bought it for the Tommy Dreamer thing, and everything else was just great that came along with it, including this shirt that Manny Bones.
What a shirt!
Manny Bones.
And so,
Manny Shark Bones.
So while you guys were live talking about that, because I wasn't on, I quick went on there, and the first one that popped up was Raven, the micro brawler, and I was like, oh man,
dope. To
have that Raven go with my Tommy Dreamer. So
I got it. Nice.
Quote the Raven.
Yeah, influenced me. So I'm gonna put Tommy and Raven right next to each other on my wall.
Awesome.
It should be
together forever.
Nice. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. That was good questions today. I like that. Open forum was fun. But no, that was it, guys. That's the Impact Plus Weekly for this week.
Sandman.
We got the
Sandman.
Nice. Comics doesn't count, but Brave used to wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Very cool. That was definitely a good episode. So yeah, definitely, guys. So Tuesday night we'll be back. It's going to be the watch along at 8 Eastern, 7 Central to Impact on AXS TV, going head to head against NXT. Very curious what that does for numbers. I'm extremely curious what that does.
Everybody get your hashtag fingers ready.
Absolutely. Get your hashtag fingers ready.
Remember, do they have a world title match between Eddie Edwards and EY? No.
I don't know what's on their card.
They don't have world title in play right now. They don't have world title in play. Theirs got given up.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have a world title in play. So definitely be ready for that, guys. And then we go live with the review just a few minutes after the show ends. So join us on Tuesday. Let's get our plugs in here, Marq. For the audio people, where can they follow you on all your Twitter?
You can only find me on Twitter at 2Taya WO, Taya World Order. That's me on Twitter.
Nice. I do enjoy you pointing out like acts of Impact kindness and Impact support and love with your retweet, because you're always like Impact Nation.
Yeah.
It's like a cool way to see like a cool thing happens. Like it's like when good Impact news is happening, Marq will quote tweet it, like somebody on the Impact roster did something cool, or like the company's doing something cool, or it's like good vibes or whatever it is, and he's like Impact Nation. So
spread the positive.
Definitely the positive, which is pretty cool. All right, Alicia, for the audio folks, where can they follow you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under the handle Alicia B. Cakey, all one word.
Halloween posts incoming, guys. Be ready for that.
Yeah,
September.
overwhelmingly.
September is happening in a few days. Bill, what about you, man?
They can find me mainly on Twitter, but also I will be bringing pictures to Instagram soon. At my name, at William M. Gardner, GARDNER.
Wait, what? Did we ever get what the M is for? What's the M for? We don't think we ever asked about this. Is this breaking news, or is this Patreon only, or where should we wait on?
OnlyFans? No. The M double is for Michael.
Michael, okay. I can't see. I can never call you by your middle name. You're definitely a Bill. Bill to me always. But that is, we should have saved it. We should have milked that one out till next week and had people guess.
Oh, tease.
All right, Jay, what about you, man? And where can they follow you and your other stuff?
Bill, you stud in that OnlyFans. Who's going to be front row for the Bill Gardner OnlyFans?
The first 10 people is the front row tier of his OnlyFans. You know,
I'll be here all week. Try the pork.
It's just photos of Bill with like the Impact roster, like just hanging.
That's what you get. You get these pictures I keep talking about.
Go ahead, Jay.
You can find me over at that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're smashing all things wrestling over there. Earlier tonight, I just reviewed Payback from WWE over there. If you're so interested, you can go check that out. Good stuff. And Smash This Podcast is, of course, on Twitch. I don't plug the Twitch enough. I'm trying to grow it, but it's it's growing slowly. It's on Twitch. It's on Instagram. It's on the Twitter box. It's on the Facebook. And I'm on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
Very nice. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Trent Zuberi, Zuberi, all together. And the show at We Talk Impact on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just type in We Talk Impact, all one word, or just type Total Nonstop Impact. Comes right up. Give us a follow. Give us your feedback. Check it out. We're always tweeting something themed out for the day, plugging the shows on throwback days, on Thursdays. We talk about mainly me, I'm putting out a lot of throwback photos as I'm watching the classic show. So you're seeing a lot of old TNA photos going out lately. So you enjoy some throwback stuff, follow us on Twitter for that. Also, guys, the audio of this show, if you're not watching a video, audio can be found on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneRadio, Spotify, Pandora, you name it, we're on it. Video, YouTube, Total Nonstop Impact, and twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. Follow, subscribe, cheer, get on with us on Twitch. I definitely want to thank everybody for an amazingly successful month over the last month on Twitch. The growth has been incredible. Twitch definitely has been a great home for us, and I really, really am appreciative to people like Truck, who have been a huge part of that growth for us, who has really led the way from the listeners and viewer side of Twitch to make that a thing, and then Brian for all of his help for keeping that going, and everybody who has subscribed on Twitch. So thank you guys, and cheered on Twitch. So thank you guys for all that support. I think I got everything. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
Discord.
ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. And then, Bill, you can plug your Discord. We are on Discord as well. Where can we find that?
We're on Discord as well. You can find that. It's not something that rolls off the tongue. Yeah. It's in the description of the show. Yeah. It's in the description, yes. So you can grab that in the description. But yeah, feel free to join it. You can always connect with us. You can still do the social media and all that, but you can always just chat with us and see what's on your mind, Impact related. Although we do have other categories. You can talk pizza. You can talk music. You can talk whatever you want.
Halloween.
We should make a Halloween.
I have to put it in the description. I'll fix that. I'm sorry.
All right, no, Jay will do that, guys. Get that in there, but we should do a Halloween sub chat. I'm not on it yet. I got to jump in there. So
that's what's going to get me on Discord. You got me.
It'll be spooky. Yeah. It'll be spooky awesome.
Spooky awesome. Terrifying. Kayfabe. All right. I think that's going to do it, guys. Anything else? Tuesday night. We'll see you guys then. Am I missing anything, Bill? Bison has a new episode dropping this week as well. Joe is back with Bison.
All right.
Oh,
welcome back, Joe.
Right. Welcome back,
Joe. So that's just now 50% beef.
50% beef. The other 50% organic meat substitute, because I think Joe is he's vegan. So I
believe so. Yeah, so we gotta even it out.
Yeah. But check that new Bison episode drop. Bison Talks Impact with Joe being back with him. So check that out, guys. I think that will do it. All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mark, thank you for being here as always. We appreciate that. And guys, we will see you Tuesday night for the watch along and review.
Tuesday.
Have a good week, everybody. Good night.
Find me the name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total Nonstop Impact.
My name's John, capital letter E, period, Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Nonstop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascalz. And you are listening to Total
Nonstop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is total non-stop impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.